I already am his father.
Oh, my. Oh. Big right hand by Roy Jones.
Yup, you know what time it is, man. This is, of course, your favorite channel, man, CTB. This is Chin Tuck Boxing. I'm your boy, Jay Slay. Say what up to him, man.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in.
And of course, you know, you're tuning into a show we call here Chin Check. This is where we check you guys' chin with boxing news, boxing rumors, boxing breakdowns, and of course, upcoming fights is what we're trying to get into today. Yo, this is the namesake of our show right here, man. This is like the namesake. This is the fight that we pretty much. This is the fight that we met on, man. We met on this fight. We pretty much forming a friendship around this fight, man. This is pretty much our holy grail when it comes to Chin Tuck Boxing, and of course, me and my boy Mom's relationship. This is the fight that the whole world now understands as a great fight. That me and you seen 7-8 years ago as a good fight. Of course, I'm talking about none other than the Terrence Bud Crawford versus the Earl the True Spence fight, man. First off, before we get into that possibility of that fight, how did you as an Earl fan, how did you view the Ugas man this past weekend?
I thought Ugas was what I thought he was. Man, Ugas is a very likable guy, man. I like the way he carries himself. I like the way he carries himself inside the ring, outside the ring. He's a warrior. It went like I thought it would go. The only thing was I didn't expect a stoppage. I said it wouldn't surprise me, but I kind of thought it would go to decision. But you know, Spence broke him down, man. But you know, Ugas gave his all. I just thought that he was just a little too stationary, but you know, he shelled up a little bit. But that came from the punches that he was receiving, man. He was receiving a lot of punishment, and it forced him to shell up, kind of like Mikey Garcia did, kind of when they fought 2 or 3 years ago. But I thought he did all he could do, man. He got nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. While I was wrong about my pick, I did pick Earl to win, but I picked Earl to win by a split decision, not by the stoppage. I said it could go either way with the split decision. I thought Ugas had a better chance than what he showed. But the game plan that he fought in, I only gave Ugas 3 rounds in this fight. I think you only gave Ugas 2 rounds in the fight. The game plan he had throughout this fight, it didn't fit the fight, man. I don't know who to blame for it. I don't know whether to blame Ugas for it. I don't know, should we blame his trainers for it? Or was Earl just that unstoppable that he just couldn't do nothing about it? We don't know. Only Ugas, God, and his trainer understands or knows what happened in that fight. But I was very impressed with Earl, man. I seen some ring rust on him. I seen some flaws with him. This is what we're here to talk about today. Today we want to talk about what a lot of fans are now talking about, which is they are comparing. Of course, you know, boxing is what you've done for me lately, sport. So they are comparing the last 2 wins of both guys. They're now comparing Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter fight, and then comparing this fight, Earl versus Ugas. So just out of those 2 fights, man, which would you can testify as a better win? Like which one of those 2 wins would you classify as a more career-defining win, leading up to their, of course, legendary fight?
And that is a tough question, and the reason why I say it's a tough question because for Bud, to me, people always had a question mark about Bud as far as his resume. People always said, well, you know, he's undisputed at 140. He was a champion at 135. But people were like, oh, his best win is like Gamboa or Burns or Postal. So why can you say he that great? He ain't really fought nobody that's, you know, on the level of some of the guys that Earl Spence fought. So the jump up to Porter, it was kind of like his defining moment of letting the world know, like, hey, I'm the real deal. Like, I'm not nobody that's just fighting, you know, a matchmaker that's pitting me in good fights to make me look good. You can pit me in with anybody, and I'm gonna show you why I'm the best pound for pound. And for Spence, on the other hand, this fight showed that Spence is still Spence, because we had a lot of question marks because, you know, he only had 1 fight in 31 months, was almost 3 years. He had the fight with Danny Garcia, which he dominated Danny Garcia, but we didn't see, you know what I'm saying, the Spence of old. He still looked a little rusty to us. And then he had the eye injury. So then he had a lot of question marks. So for him to come back and look as strong and powerful and to me, he looked real good after like the 5th round. He looked like his old self as far as his timing and what he looked like against Chris Algieri and Lamont Peterson. I saw a lot of that, and Kell Brook. That's what I saw when I saw against Ugas, and I haven't seen that. What I'm saying, with Mikey Garcia or Sean Porter. I didn't see that with Spence. So for both of them, it was different, but I thought it was equally as important. I know people don't want to hear that, but I can't really choose one, man, because I think they both was equally important to both fighters.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna get that edge a little bit towards Earl, man, because like you said, only because of the long layoff he was enduring and the questions, man, because he was pretty much coming out of a car accident and fought Danny, and then fell out again for an eye injury and possibly having eye surgery. So that's 2 major layoffs. So I wanted to see, was the rush from Danny Garcia fight going to carry over? And plus, what I'm saying, Ugas was on a high, man. Ugas was coming off of a career-defining win against Manny Pacquiao. Even though we all know Manny Pacquiao was the older, smaller guy in the fight, Ugas was a late replacement, and he came in there and impressed and won a lot of people's hearts in that fight. So I get an edge to a more career-defining fight to Earl, man, only because of what it meant. And not to mention also, for Earl had to not only back up what he said, because he said he was going to stop Ugas, a man who was a bigger welterweight than he was and was known to be a quote-unquote warrior. He went in there and actually did that, man. He went in there and actually stopped the guy. So for him to back up those words and actually stop the guy, and on top of that, for him to know what was on the line, he knew that he had to win that fight for the mega fight with Terrence Crawford, because he knew if he lost that fight, then Ugas would be the one in the mega fight. So for him to have that much pressure coming off of a long layoff, an eye surgery, coming from another long layoff, and let's be honest, man, Danny Garcia was not the best Danny Garcia at that part. Nor has he ever been at welterweight. So to me, this Ugas win was really the comeback win, in my opinion. So I get the edge to Earl, man. I think this is definitely a more career-defining move. Where Sean Porter was pretty much, like you said, was Terrence Crawford just proving that he belongs, which, in my opinion, I always knew he belonged. So he was already proving something that most boxing purists already knew.